Hello everyone and welcome back. My name's dustinkreis and the wife is upstairs watching The Bachelorette. So even though I was playing Ys Origins on the computer and had my headphones on, I could still see it and know that it existed. So I figured why not leave the living room and come down here and hang out with you guys for a second. And we're going to be doing a movie discussion today because I'm in between on some games. I'm actually I'm going to finish up Unica's story on Ys Origin and then do that game discussion video, and then I'm going to start up Suikoden 2. So, still trying to finish up that game. It's it's challenging in some places. You really need to grind out levels every now and then to you can get by in the stages, but when you get to those bosses, you really want to have some strength to you. So that'll be coming here soon, hopefully. So look forward to that. But today, I thought we'd do a movie discussion, and the movie we're going to discuss today is Striptease, starring Demi Moore's tits. Just kidding, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. Today we're going to talk about a great movie, a fantastic movie, a movie that you should go out in theaters and see. We're going to be talking about Prometheus. And I tried shooting this video before, and it was a complete failure because I tried to keep it spoiler-free. And when you try to do a movie discussion spoiler-free in some ways, it just sounds like you don't know what you're talking about, and you're, like you're rambling. That being said, this video will probably sound like I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm rambling, so there we go. But I am going to talk about some things in the movie, so if you have not seen the film yet and you really want to and you do not want to be spoiled, please just click off until you see the movie, because I held off on watching Happy Console Gamer's his video until I saw the movie, because even though I knew he wasn't going to do any spoilers, I just didn't want anything to be there. So where do we start with this movie? I'm going to start out and say it's fantastic, and I haven't seen Moonrise Kingdom yet, and I'm a Wes Anderson whore, but as it stands right now, this is my favorite movie this year, and just so many ideas being thrown at the screen, and just so much eye candy. Whenever Ridley Scott makes a film, I am usually 100% on board. Robin Hood, though, I fell asleep during when we watched it on HBO, so I gotta go back and watch that. But man, Ridley Scott, I just love Ridley Scott. Alien, Blade Runner, Gladiator, Kingdom of Heaven. Kingdom of Heaven is one of the most underrated movies that has been made in like the last 10 years, and if you really want to see Kingdom of Heaven, go out and get the Blu-ray director's cut. It doesn't have all the bonus features of the big DVD version, which I still have, but they put so much back. They cut so much out of that movie that it borderline made no sense. And when those scenes get thrown back in, the movie just takes on a whole new life. And I'm telling you guys, Kingdom of Heaven is one of the best movies he's ever made. But I love, love, love Ridley Scott, and I love, love, love the Alien movies, even Alien Resurrection and even Alien 3. I love all of them. So when I heard about this Prometheus project, I was, you could say I was intrigued, because I love, love, love science fiction. And when science fiction presents you with something entertaining, but also thought-provoking, that is when it's at its best. You know, like I said, Blade Runner. It's one of those movies that you can watch it and just watch it as sort of an action movie, or you can sit and think about it and think about what is the nature of humanity. Where do we start and replicants begin? You know, things like that. What is the nature of a soul? Such a fantastic film. And while Prometheus doesn't reach those heights, it doesn't fall far from the mark. It really asks those kind of big questions. Does it answer them? Yes and no. You can sort of infer answers from them, and I might get a little bit more specific here later. But it doesn't come out right out and say, you know, as we know, the movie is about mankind's search for our Creator. And what we find is not exactly what we were looking for. And you know, if you didn't know that going in, I think you might as well just bash your head against the wall, because, you know, whenever we do these these search for God, in science fiction film, it always turns out bad. You know, from a plot point and from a box office point, Star Trek V, you know, it did the same kind of thing where the Enterprise went off on a search for God, and what we found was not exactly what we were looking for. So it's, you know, it's one of those universal things. Why are we here? It's the basic question, you know, the thing that really preoccupies us. That being said, let's go ahead and get into some specifics here. That was really hard to say for some reason. The cast. Amazing casting. Just fantastic. And, you know, people are just throwing all of these accolades at Michael Fassbender. And I'm telling you guys, he is an actor to watch because he just nails it every friggin' time. In Inglourious Basterds, he was so fun to watch. In X-Men First Class, he and James McAvoy really just elevated that movie to another level. And his performance as Magneto was just so awesome. And I'm so looking forward to future First Class movies so we can see more of him as Magneto. Noomi Rapace, I'm telling you guys, she is going to make a huge splash in Hollywood. She is just a fantastic actress. And my wife is really into the Dragon Tattoo movies. So much so, or the books. So much so she went out and bought the Swedish DVDs. And, I mean, you know, if you don't like subtitled movies, which I love subtitled movies, you know, don't apply. Get the David Fincher version. But, wow, she just, I mean, she is Elizabeth Zalander. It's just, it's a fearless performance in those movies. And it's a fearless performance in this. Kind of a different character, but still a strong, kick-ass female lead. And in the, you know, the very vein of Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley. And then, finally, rounding out the great performances in the movie is Charlize Theron, who, you know, sometimes she does not so great movies where she just kind of is banking on her looks, and then other times she does stuff like Monster or The Road, and it's just an amazing performance. And in this movie, I hear she's really good in Snow White and the Huntsman as well. But in this movie, she's in full Ice Queen mode, and I don't know, there's just something about her with her hair slicked back like that, wearing those science fiction costumes that it just gets you excited. And she's just, I mean, she's a looker. What can you say? She's a friggin' looker. So, but her performance as well is very, very good, because you can, I mean, even before the reveal at the end of sort of why she's kind of such a bitch in the movie, you can kind of tell there's an undercurrent there of something that is really bothering her. So yeah. The visuals are just mind-numbingly gorgeous. I mean, watching Prometheus hit Atmo and enter the planet and fly through space, that is, I mean, there are ships out there that I really latch onto. There's the Enterprise from the original, you know, the Enterprise refit from the original movies. There's Serenity from Firefly / Serenity. And now there's Prometheus. This is going to be another one of those ships that just, you know, when I see it, I'm going to have very fond memories of it. I mean, visually, the movie is just astounding. I did not see it in the IMAX 3D, but I hear the IMAX 3D is just gorgeous as well. So, I don't know if it's Avatar quality 3D, but I hear it's pretty close to that. So, let's get into the themes. Let's just, screw this. Let's start talking some spoiler stuff here. Let's start talking the movie. So like I said, we're searching for our creator, and we think we found it on this far-off planet. So we send out a mission. It takes them 2 years to get there. They sleep in cryogenic, you know, sleep. And once we get there, we start discovering things. And the big question that's on everyone's mind, is this actually a prequel to Alien? And the answer is yes and no. Yes, because we are in the same universe. We're dealing with the Wayloon Corporation. We're dealing with sort of the same themes as the Alien movie, but it's really its own beast. And if you go into the movie, please leave Alien at the door. Watch the first movie so you can reconnect with the ship and the space jockey, but you know, leave that at the door, because my wife watched it and she was expecting another Alien movie, and that's not what it is. It's in the same universe and it takes place before Alien, but it's not an Alien movie because Alien hasn't happened yet. This is a precursor. This is the, you know, the world before the xenomorph starts terrorizing everything. So this is a different world, and you have to go in thinking that, because if you go in expecting chest bursters and things like that, you're going to be really disappointed, because it's a different beast. It's got different ideas on its mind. That being said, what we find on this planet is, initially we think is going to be some grand answer. And really what it boils down to is the fact that humanity, at least this is the way I look at it, and I'm going to get kind of spoilerific here, so, you know, like I said, you know, don't yell at me. You're the one continuing to watch. It's almost like the engineers planned us as a bioweapon that went wrong, okay? And when you really think about it, there's not a lot of difference between humanity and the xenomorph. The xenomorph, of course I'm talking about the Alien from the first movies, is hell-bent on destruction and propagation. And when you really sit back and kind of think about humanity, we're the only animal on this planet that does not create an equilibrium with its environment. You know, we are a virus with shoes, as Bill Hicks was fond to say. And, you know, in a lot of ways, maybe we were not initially what the engineers planned, you know, when they created life. Because the first scenes in the movie is the engineers on Earth basically creating humans. And I think what it is, you know, you can draw a lot of connections between humanity and the xenomorph. You know, the xenomorph has to have the face huggers to impregnate its host, whereas humanity, we have penises and vaginas, and it's kind of the same, you know, kind of the same idea. How graphic is that for YouTube? We'll see. You know, after watching this movie, I really got to thinking about how, you know, it all kind of fits together, and, you know, what, you know, when you see kind of the grand scale of what's going on, and, you know, humanity can be argued that maybe we were the good that came out of, you know, this experiment that the engineers did, and the xenomorph was sort of the undesired effect. I don't know. It's just so awesome to think that in a lot of ways we were the creator of our own destruction, because if we never went to that planet, there would never be Alien movies. Well, maybe, you know what, maybe there would be, because that's actually a different planet that we go to in Prometheus. Prometheus is like LV 200 and something, whereas Alien is LV 429, so it's a different planet, but you know, whatever. We're losing it here. But, you know, I really like the fact that when they find their supposed creator in the last living engineer, he's almost kind of horrified to see humanity there. Like, you know, like, oh shit, we didn't finish our job, and this shit is still out there. These fucking humans are still out there causing damage and destruction. Crap. And, but on the other hand, the movie presupposes that the engineers didn't wipe us out for a reason. And this is supposed to be the first movie of a planned trilogy, I guess, or at least a couple sequels. So I'm really wanting to know what the answers are, because Prometheus, of course, poses a lot of questions that it doesn't really answer. But at the same time, I walked out of that theater and my mind was just spinning with all these questions and trying to figure things out, because that's what I do. I try to, you know, figure out what's the meaning behind all this. But I love the fact that the xenomorph was an undesired effect of this experiment that the engineers did. I think that speaks volumes for just kind of how science runs amok in a lot of ways. Like we do things because we can. You know, that's one of the things that the movie talks about, you know, with David. You know, David is basically asking a human why he was created, and the human says, because we could. And, you know, David says, well, what if you've run into your creator? And he says, well, we just made you because we could. How disappointing that would be. And essentially, that's kind of what happens, you know, as far as we know so far. Of course, we haven't had any real interactions with the engineers, but God, this movie makes such a fascinating new universe and a fascinating new way of looking at the entire Alien saga, and I can't wait for more movies. That being said, you guys who've watched the movie, and if you haven't watched the movie, I apologize for spoiling it, but I've warned you. At the end, when you saw the alien burst out of the engineer, as you know, it wasn't a chest burster. It was actually a full-grown alien. So that makes me wonder, is that a queen? Did we finally get to see a queen being born? Because we've never seen one of those, a queen being born before. Although, now that I think about it, I guess the alien that was in Ripley in Alien 3, that was supposed to be a queen. And it came out as a chest burster. So, you know, but then again, this is a sort of a, when you look at it, it's a different alien. It's not the same thing as a xenomorph, which makes you think, because of Elizabeth Shaw, her character gets impregnated with sort of a new type of face hugger, and that's really what that big, you know, squid creature was a sort of a more organic face hugger, which created a more organic looking xenomorph in the end, you know. Whereas on LV-429, who knows what created that original face hugger and how, you know, the DNA got spliced, because in Alien, they look more biomechanical, whereas in Prometheus, they look more organic, especially with the sort of alien prototype at the end. But God, I really want to see this movie again. I really want to go watch it again. I really, really cannot wait for the Blu-ray, because I want the bonus features. I want the director's commentary. I want all the behind-the-scenes stuff. I want them talking about the gestation period of the movie. I cannot wait for the Blu-ray to finally come out. I really can't wait to dive in that stuff, because I love buying DVDs and Blu-rays for the commentaries and the bonus features. I just bought the Blu-ray of To Catch a Thief because it was loaded with bonus features about, you know, old Hollywood and stuff like that. I bought the Blu-ray of Southland Tales just because it has a director's commentary on it, which Southland Tales is a fantastic movie that is kind of underrated. So if you like weird movies, go check that one out. But yeah, guys, Prometheus, wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is what I want out of science fiction. And it reminds me so much of science fiction of the 80s, because that was really when I feel like they were presenting, you know, science fiction today, sometimes it's kind of devoid of emotion and thought. Like the Star Wars prequels, compared to the originals, there's just it's just missing something. You know, it's missing a brain. It's missing a heart. It's just kind of robotic and sterile. You know, like the Chronicles of Riddick movies. You know, they're fun to watch, but I just kind of, I don't, you know, when I'm done with them, I'm just like, it's pretty. But, you know, like when I watch older movies like Blade Runner and, you know, RoboCop and things like that, it's like they had this spectacle, but there's also something behind it, a brain working. And Prometheus really kind of returns science fiction to that mold, where there is a brain working behind there, and they want you to think, and they want you to feel. And it's good to finally have a science fiction movie like that again. So I'm giving Prometheus 2 thumbs up, because I just thought it was fantastic. Could have been better, yeah, maybe. There might have been some pacing issues there, here and there, but you know, when Ridley Scott returns to a universe like that, which supposedly he's going to be working on Blade Runner 2, which after watching Prometheus, I'm kind of okay with. Now, I really was kind of worried about him returning to that universe, but seeing sort of what he did with Prometheus, I'm really kind of excited for another Blade Runner. As long as they keep, you know, if David Lindoff is involved like he is with Prometheus, then I'm going to be stoked about that, because I think he knows how to get to the core of a story. And that being said, there's going to be a remake of RoboCop too, so I don't know how that's going to go. But oh, I can't remember. Oh, the cop from The Killing, Holder. He's going to be RoboCop in this, so that's going to be interesting to watch. But yeah, that's Prometheus, guys. Great movie. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And can't wait for more. So, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go play a game here a little bit. And maybe watch some Robotech. I just found this at Walmart for $10. It's the entire Macross saga. So, I had this way back in the day. But I traded all the DVDs in. Age-old story, right? So, I at least found a nice replacement for cheap. And as for Striptease, we'll do a little movie discussion on it. Watch it once for Demi Moore's tits, and then never watch it again. So, all right, guys. I'm getting off here. So take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time.